Hello and welcome or welcome back to my channel. I'm Misty at Skeeterjones, and this is some bonus content for this week. A lot of you might know about my recent struggles with thread-up 15-piece mixed jewelry boxes, so I decided to take a lemons into lemonade approach and take a piece that was not usable and turn it into, I think, 4 pieces that are. I'll show you the finished products at the end, but I decided to bring you along and show you how I repurposed something that would have otherwise been destined to a craft bag or a trash bin. So let's jump right in and see what I created. Here are some pieces that are all candidates for upcycling, and the reasons for some of these are some really nice pearls, but the loops here they look like vintage or maybe antiqued or aged brass, and that might be what that is. And the hooks might be as well, but I would find it hard to resell these hooks. If I can show you that, it's being stubborn. The hooks just don't look nice for someone to want to buy those, I think, because they just look like they're old and beat up and worn. The loops actually could be something, maybe even without repurposing. They maybe could be just some stacking boho style rings. So that's something that I could do with those two. But I want to find something else to do with these pearls. That is not today's project. I'm just showing you some items that would be good candidates for upcycling. And that is one. Next is these rhinestone earrings that I got, unfortunately, in a recent thread-up 15-piece mixed jewelry box. It's missing some rhinestones on one of the earrings there. One of them is fine, but just the look of it, I could make maybe a Victorian style necklace. This could be maybe a pendant, and I think that's what I'm going to do with that. Once I separate it from here, I'll have these little drops that I can maybe attach something else to the bottom of. And since the stones are here on this one in this place, I could have a matching pair of earrings. Then I could have this large statement pendant. And then here, this is the only part that's missing stones, so I could maybe cut that off right there and then have a smaller Victorian style pendant that just looks like this with just the lower piece after I cut that off. But also this one is not today's project, but that's a way to recoup some of the investment I put down on those pieces, or I guess that piece, since it's a pair of earrings. This is today's project, which is this necklace that has these beautiful AB stones that are various colors on this necklace, and the necklace doesn't show much wear, the chain doesn't, and the stones are beautiful. But there's one which is a dead stone, and that's this one here. You'll see how the coating on the back of these has a silvery coating, and that's what makes the color on the front look so sparkly and luminescent, is this silver coating on the back, but the silver coating is missing off of this one. You can see the difference when I do that. You can see the silver coating on the others. The silver coating on this one is different than the silver coating on these. And when I say silver, of course, I'm not talking about sterling silver. I'm talking about just silver colored coating. It's different than the coating here on these. It's more matte on these, but it's there nonetheless. This one, something happened that the coating just came off, and this unfortunately also was in a thread-up 15-piece box. So I will be able to salvage this because I noticed that it's very symmetrical. Like these two on the ends are the same color, these two are the same color, and then these two are the same color. And these two, I suppose, would be the same color if the AV coating was still, or the silver coating was on the back of this one. So what I'll do with this is just make this one into a pendant, and I'll just put this into a craft lot. But this is today's project. So I'm going to clear the things I don't need right now out of the way. We'll say bye-bye to these. And then what I'll do first is just break this necklace down into its constituent parts, which means I'll remove this length of chain with the clasp on it, the jump rings that connect each one of these stone settings to the chain, and then connect the stone settings to each other. I'll separate all of that and then separate it into piles. So I will kind of have sort of a supply stash, I guess. I'll be able to look and see exactly what sort of pieces I have to work with. So the first thing I'm going to do is open up these jump rings, and that will be easily done by just holding them in place with one set of pliers while taking the other set and making a twisting motion to open those. There's a reason why, actually it'd be easier if I hold it with the flat pliers and then twist it open with the needle nose. And there's a reason why you would twist this open instead of just pulling it. And let me demonstrate. There's a reason you would twist, like if this is a ring, there's a reason that you would twist it open like this to create your opening instead of opening it this way. Because if you open it this way, it's a lot harder to close it and make these ends line up perfectly. And if you have a jump ring that's closed like that or like that, it's just not as attractive, and it could catch on your clothes or irritate your skin. So if you have your ring and you open it by twisting it, then it's a lot easier to just bring it right back where it was when it's time to close it. And that makes the joint with the two ends of the ring a lot more smooth. So in case you've ever wondered, that is why you would twist the rings to open them instead of just pulling them straight open. So I'm finding the ends, so I'll know where to grab it. And then I twist it with the other pliers. And if you can see where it's twisted open, then you can see all I would do is just pinch it right back together to close. And so we're already formulating our little pile of supplies. We have a length of chain, and we have so far now 1 stone and 2 rings. And to save time, I won't run the video while I am opening every single one of these rings. I'll come back when they are all separated. So here are all the constituent parts of the necklace. This is the dead stone that has the missing silver backing on it. And this is the one that would match this one. And this one's good. All the rest of them are good. This is the only bad one. And this one doesn't have a match, so it will be a pendant. And then all 3 of these, since they have a match, will end up being earrings. I have the clasp end of the chain, and I left the lobster clasp attached to that. And then I have the other side of the chain, which is just the chain with the extender. And I'm leaving the extender attached to this chain for now because that may prove useful later. And then here are all the jump rings that I took off of the necklace. And then here are 3 pairs of hooks, another lobster clasp, and 2 other jump rings that I got just in case I might need them. And then 2 other chain options that I might try for the necklace. in case I decide to use those. So the first thing I'm going to do is try for my first pair of earrings. The idea that I have in mind for these is sort of a chain drop look like this, where the stone falls down from a chain. Of course, the chain would cut off right there, so it would look sort of like this. So that's the idea I have in mind for these little blue earrings. So I'm going to cut off 11 links. I need an odd number so that they can be even down each side, and then have the one link at the top that will connect to the hook. So I'm about to cut off 2 pieces that are 11 links long, and then I will be right back. So I have the pieces of chain cut, and instead of 11 links long, which just looked too long, so I changed it to 9 links. And again, the odd number is on purpose so that there will be an even number of links down each side, and then the odd one will be the one that connects to the hook at the top. So they'll hang symmetrically when someone is wearing them. Then I got 2 jump rings that will attach the chain to these 2 loops on the sides of the setting. And then I'll do that again for this one, and then I'll hang them onto the hooks, and that will be our first pair of earrings. So the first step will be to put on 1 jump ring, and that's going to be a lot easier if I hold it with my pliers. Then I'll put the end of the chain, I put the ring through the eyelet on the setting. I'll put one end of the chain through the eyelet as well. Like that. And then I'm going to twist that jump ring back closed. It's kind of hard to get both hands in here into my light box, so bear with me. So I've gotten it closed now, and then you can see that by twisting it, I was able to make the 2 ends of the jump ring meet up smoothly, and that's what we want. So how that's connected there, I'm about to do the same thing with this jump ring and this eyelet and the other end of the chain, and I'll be right back. Now I have both ends connected to the eyelets on the stone, or on the setting that is, and then all that's left to do is get this center link and hook it to the earring hook. That looks like it is this one. Yes. Then I will thread that through right here. These are the easiest hooks to work with. There are all kinds of different ones. These you just thread it over the little bead there that's at the end right here, and then you just use your pliers to close it up. It popped over, so I'm going to straighten that up. It looks to be lined up nicely, and that is the first earring. So now I'm going to move on and make the second one in the same way. I will take the stone and first put the chain over the jump ring. It took a minute. I had to look a little closer, but there it is. And then I'll put this eyelet going along with the chain. And then hold it with the pliers. And then off camera, I'll use these pliers to twist it back shut. And there it is. Now time to do the other side. To keep the chain from getting twisted, I didn't show you this on the first one. I laid out flat and then kind of bend it in the direction I want it to go, making sure it's laying flat all the way around. There would be an unattractive twist in the chain if I didn't do that. And then put the eyelet through. I know you probably can't see that very well, but I put the ring through the eyelet, and then being careful to not twist the chain, I put the other end of the chain also on the jump ring. And you know the drill by now. I will hold it with these pliers, and then with these I will close up the ring. And there's the second one. Then again, I find the center link, which is this one, and then I'll thread that through the bead end of the hook. And then I'll close, oh, wrong pliers. Then I'll close that opening there. And this is our first pair of earrings. For the next pair, I had a similar idea, which is the chain coming down, which is really the only way I can hang these since they have two eyelets. If there was only one eyelet at the top of the stone, I could actually just hang that directly from the hook. But since there are two eyelets, I have to do something to make that look nice. So I harvested some chain from another craft necklace, and so these are going to have a much smaller chain than the last pair. And I won't need jump rings for this. That'll help me conserve the jump rings for something else. And then here are the hooks. So here's the idea with these. And I'll do that the same way. On this chain, I'm just not going to use jump rings, but I'll just open up the chain links on each end. There's just not enough room in my light box. So then on this open link, I just threaded the eyelet of the stone setting, and then I will close that back up. And there is that link closed. Now I will just open the link at the other end and attach it to the other eyelet. And there is the second one. And here is how this one's going to look, or an idea of how it will look. Again, doing this type of setting, it's important to make sure I have an odd number of links. So I counted that out. And here is the first one, ready to hang onto the hook. And here is the first completed earring of the next pair. So I will do the next one off camera, and I will be right back. This is how this pair actually will end up looking. I did need to use a jump ring after all, and you can see it better when I'm able to show these to you hanging, but this link, the oval link that used to be right here, is very narrow here at the bottom. So when these two top links from this part, like those two links there, when they were crowded into this little space, it made the earring hang like this. So I opened this one up and added a ring that had a little bit more space for these two. And then I had to add another oval ring and then the original oval ring. And the reason, again, if I didn't put a second oval ring, you can see which direction that one is. That's because the earring would be laying that way if I didn't have a ring doing that. So every time you add a ring, it alternates which direction in this case, we'll call this a pendant, the pendant would hang. But that is how they're going to end up looking. The first one still looks the same way you originally saw it, but I'm about to open it up and add a round jump ring here, another oval ring, and then the original ring at the top. So this one will look just like this one, and I'll be right back. So here's the first one with the extra length put in to make it hang in a better way. This is the second pair. So here's the last pair of earrings. It was pretty much the same steps that were used with the first two, which I've put over here, and I'll put this last pair over here with those while we turn our attention to the pendant, the one that will be a pendant, and then the one with the one that's dead here. And I'm just going to craft that one out. For the pendant, I've already put one ring on. What I'm going to do for this one is just thread jump rings through the eyelets of the setting. And I've already got one of them threaded on right there. So I'll just thread it through the other one. I'll have to close this up off camera. Okay, there's just not enough room in my light box to get both of my hands and my pliers in there. So this is what this looks like now. I may put a couple more links on each side, or I may just leave it like it is and then thread a chain through there. And I will be right back and show you the finished product. And here's the simple necklace that I came up with. A little 8-inch drop, a little extender on it. I did take, there was a brand, a tag hanging off, which I removed just because I don't think it would be right to attribute this to someone who didn't make it. But there it is. So I turned one necklace that was no good into a necklace and 3 pairs of earrings. I'll show you the finished products in a more attractive shot at the end. But I used this necklace, which was another broken one. That's where I sourced a lot of the chain from. And these that I ended up not using at all were also other necklaces that were broken or otherwise not usable. So if you are crafty at all or at all interested in doing things like that, save your broken pieces. And you can use the bits from them to create something new when a favorite piece breaks, or you get something with high hopes of it being good, but it's not, which was the case with this necklace here. Now I was able to turn it into things that hopefully someone will love. So stay tuned for the final products. Here's the necklace. On a silver tone chain, and I had enough chain that I was able to use the same chain that's on the earrings, so they will coordinate if someone wants to do that. But there it is, this nice sunshine lemony yellow. It's trying to focus. There it is. Pendant, very sparkly because it has its AB coating on the back. And the differing lengths, some round, some oval. It's It's about an 8-inch drop with about a 3-inch extender. And there's that beauty. The first pair of earrings. Well, I don't remember if I'm showing them in the same order they were made, but this is a pair of earrings. And there those are. And it's the same chain that's on that necklace. The necklace that was broken, that I took this chain from, was long enough that it allowed enough to make the earrings and the necklace. Now none of these are exactly the same color. I see these are not quite the same as the necklace, but any of them would probably coordinate since they all came from one piece. This is more like a rosy pink with yellow. I'll show pictures of them hanging as well, the blue ones. Sorry for the focusing issues. And I'll show a picture of those hanging also. That's more sparkly than it looks. It's just the direction of the light, I think. And those are the same length. They just don't look like it for some reason in that picture. But I will show those hanging. Very similar to the necklace, but not exactly the same. Well, no, not similar at all. But again, I think they would coordinate. And the other earrings, this is what it looks like with those. And here's what they look like next to the blue ones. They were all hanging on the same necklace together, of course. And there's what those look like. And I will show those hanging as well. So I hope you enjoyed coming along with me and seeing how I make the best of a bad situation with regard to this necklace. And all of these pieces are available for sale. I'll put prices on the screen, and I hope you enjoyed the content. If you did, please give me a thumbs up and consider subscribing if you haven't already. Share it with a friend who you think might also enjoy seeing how I repurpose jewelry, and leave a comment. And I'll see you in the next video. Bye.